Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Georgetown Eagle Playoff Baseball live here on SHN Sports. We come live from New Braunfels Canyon High School. Cougar Baseball welcomes us in for Game 2 of the regional quarterfinal series between your Georgetown Eagles and the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars. Kelly, Game 1, home last night at Georgetown. The Eagles pull it out in the bottom of the 6th, shut down the Cougars in the top of the 7th, and walk away with a Game 1 win, 6-4. A great battle leading into this Game 2 tonight.
One inning of a hiccup gave Canyon a chance to tie the game, but the Eagles, with their grit and their resiliency like we've talked about all season, were able to come back, take that win. Big win, since we had to come to Canyon tonight and play here at their ballparks. Beautiful night, very windy, beautiful evening. Got a pretty good crowd starting to filter in. We do want to let you know that the Lady Eagles today run rule victory in their second victory to advance to the next round of the playoffs. They beat, who were they playing?
Victoria West.
Victoria West beat Victoria West 12-0 in 5 innings, I believe.
And a big win. That sends the Lady Eagles softball team on to the regional finals, one step away from the state semifinals in a repeat year. They've got to win this next series. But what a win last night in 13 innings, a walk-off single down the left field line by Isa Torres scores the winning run in the bottom of the 13th inning. And now we go live here. We'll see what we got. And we'll show you some looks tonight, doing a little things a little different here as we're on top of the press box here in New Braunfels. We got a close-up camera from behind there. You got the coaches at home plate. Jared Frimmel and Coach Jordan Vieira meet with Coach Nick Kazol and the 4-person umpire crew at home plate. And so a different look here tonight, and then we're going to have a close-up first base cam. Any kind of pickoffs or plays at first base, we'll try to flip over to that cam. Bear with us. It's just the two of us, but we're going to have fun with this tonight. An important Game 2 here. The Eagles win it. They're on to the regional semifinals. A loss tonight means Game 3 tomorrow night at Westlake High School.
Yeah, and this for the ladies, you can officially say they make a deep playoff run, because I think regional finals is a deep playoff run. So they've made a deep playoff run. Boys are hoping to follow that path. A week behind the softball playoffs. So if Georgetown can win tonight, then we go to the regional semifinals and then advance. So they're a week ahead of us, but so proud of the Lady Eagles.
A big win today after a big 13-inning ball game last night there at Marion High School. Just about 30 minutes away here from New Braunfels Canyon High School. They took on Victoria West, a big win last night in 13 innings, and then a run rule victory tonight in 5 innings, 12-0 to advance. Good crowd coming in here from Georgetown. The Canyon Cougar fans already taking their spot along the home plate wall you see there. And we'll go back to the coaches meeting at home plate. It's Coach Vieira and the Eagles in the baby blues tonight. The what we call the throwback Kansas City Royals of the George Brett days.
Love them.
The players in the baby blue pants with the Eagle blue and white stripe down the piping down the legs. The white numerals, white Eagles in script lettering across the front, outlined in the Eagle blue. With the long pants today, with the blue shoes, the Eagle blues cap with the G logo on the front. The home team in game number 2, the Canyon Cougars, coming in the all whites with the black pinstripes. Cougars across the front emblazoned in red block print lettering. Red numerals on the back outlined in black with the black caps with the CC logo in red on the front of those caps. An all grass field, dirt infield, all grass infield and outfield. 310 down the right field line, 350 to right center field power alley, 365 to dead center, 355 to the left power alley, and 325 down the left field line. The umpire coaches meeting is over at home plate, and they're going to get ready to announce the starting lineups. Rosters, we'll go to this. This is our setup tonight up here on top.
That's why you're going to hear some wind in the microphones. Hopefully when the sun goes down, that wind will die down a little bit, but we are on top of the press box here at Canyon Field.
So they get ready to announce the starting lineup for the Eagles and the Cougars. We'll go with the starting lineup for the Canyon Cougars. They come into the ball game. Coach Nick Kazol, Scott Larson, Brandon Durst, Cameron Arnold, and Mickey Scott, the assistant coaches. They represent 5A Region 4 District 26. Their batting order goes this way. Leading off and playing right field, number 25, Blake Hollingshead. Batting second and playing second base, number 1, Trip Villanueva. Batting third and playing catcher, number 3, Robbie Lopez. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 22, Will Canalico. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 13, Isaac Wyman. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 10, Evan Janner. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 4, Chandler Banks. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 5, E.J. Garcia. And batting ninth at shortstop, at number 2, Sam Ortiz. That's the starting lineup for the Canyon Cougars. Hollingshead, Villanueva, Lopez, the top third, Canalico, Wyman, Janner, the middle third, Banks, Garcia, and Ortiz, the bottom third. Kelly, for the Eagles.
For the Eagles, your head coach in his third season as the head coach of the Georgetown Eagles, head coach Jordan Vieira. His assistants are Chad Payne, David Durrell, Robert Halm, and Barry Johnson. And we would be remiss if we left out Coach Jared Fremmel. The stat girls for your Georgetown Eagles, Grace King, Carter Campbell, and Dylan Jones. The athletic trainers for the Eagles are Alyssa Stock and Macy Denson. Your starting lineup for your Eagles tonight, batting first, number 19, the senior catcher, Zach Mazak. Number 2, E.J. Davis is second in the order tonight, the senior utility fielder. Batting third is number 6, Landon Heil, senior infielder as well. Batting fourth is number 25, Reese Bell, senior first baseman. Batting fifth, number 5, Logan Smith, senior infielder. Batting sixth is Riley Leininger, super sophomore, coming into tonight, batting .275 on the season. Batting seventh, number 21, Eli Hellman, the junior fielder. Number 3, Ty Klaus Keismore will be batting 8th. And batting ninth is number 16, Andon Petty, the senior center fielder. And on the mound tonight for the Eagles, number 10, Jacob Haddon with an 8-2 record, ERA of 1.82.
And to the national anthem. the top of the first inning. Mazik, Davis, and Heil do up here for the Eagles. Defensively for the Canyon Cougars.
For the Cougars in the outfield from left to right, Janner, Wyman, and Hollingshead. Across the infield left to right, Garza, Ortiz, Villanueva, and Canalico. Behind the plate is Lopez, and on the mound, Durst, the senior left-hander.
Zach Mazik will lead it off from the left side. Senior catcher. Got on base all 4 times last night, 2 for 2 on the night. Was hit by a pitch in the third and intentionally walked in the fourth. Had a double and a single. He'll lead things off here in the top of the first inning. Against number 19, Braden Durst, the big lefty for the Cougars. He'll start out of the windup. First pitch in there to Mazik. On the outside corner for strike one. 0-1 to count.
Zach comes into the game tonight batting .459.
Mazik back in from the left side. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
This wind's going to be a factor tonight. It's blowing right to left, out towards left field, so maybe an Eagle can hit that scoreboard.
The 0-2 pitch, and Mazik will send it into center field. And it's going to get down in front of Wyman for a leadoff single, and Zachary Mazik stays hot. And he immediately pumps up this dugout and gets things going. Timeout down the line at first base. I apologize there. And Zach Zavala, the courtesy runner for the catcher. The speedy Zavala comes on to run. So a good job of hitting there with 2 strikes. 0-2 the count.
Zach picking up where he left off, sorry.
Surprised Mazik actually got a good pitch on a 0-2 count, Kelly.
He did. And he drove that ball where he wanted it to go, similar to where he went last night.
E.J. Davis will step in here with no outs. First pitch, he pulls the bunt tip back. The ball bounces in. Good stop there by the catcher, Lopez. 1-0 the count to E.J. Davis. Davis comes into the ball game hitting .358. He had a good game last night. Was 2 for 4 in the night. Had 3 RBIs. Scored 2 runs. Pickoff attempt over to first. And Zavala dives back in safely there at first base, being held on by Canalico. Another pickoff attempt, and Zavala dives back in safely. 1-0 the count to E.J. Davis. No outs here in the top of the first. Leadoff single by Mazik. The second pitch, and Davis will bunt it out to the right. The mound, Durst comes off, fields it, throws down to first in time for the out. 1-3 on the put out. The sack bunt by Davis moves Zavala up into scoring position with 1 out. And that brings up Landon Heil.
Landon comes in tonight batting .384 on the season. He's got an on-base percentage of .500 with a slugging percentage of .534 and an OPS of 1.034.
Landon Heil, the right fielder, steps in for his first time of the ball game with the runner down at second base with 1 out. Heil hit by a pitch last night in 1 at bat, had an RBI double in the third. Was 1 for 3 on the night. The first pitch from Durst. Outside corner called strike 1. Scouting report from the Rouse, some Rouse friends of ours, says that Durst will live on the breaking ball and the off-speed pitch. Try to keep the batters off balance. You see that as he leads off the bat for Heil with a breaking pitch. The pickoff attempt at second base. And Zavala gets back in there quickly. He's safe there. 0-1 to count to Landon Heil. Beautiful night for baseball. Just a little windy here starting it off. Durst comes set, a look back at second. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt. It gets away from Lopez, and Zavala easily moves up to third base. He had a good secondary jump, Kelly, and then takes advantage of the wild pitch in the dirt by Durst.
He does, and that's a big move over to third there. Another pass ball could score a run, base hit, long fly ball, score a run. And tonight you got to put those runs on the board again. We saw what happened last night. You can't relax, but every opportunity you get, you got to score.
So now the count 1-1 to Landon Heil. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch.
That pitch fooled him.
1-2 the count to Landon Heil. Reese Bell on deck for the Eagles, the first baseman. 1-2 count to Heil. The 1-2 pitch. Heil chased it into the left-handed batter's box. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strike out of the ball game for Durst, and out number 2.
Heil really did not like his swing attempt at that pitch that was way outside. That brings up Reese Bell, big senior first baseman, batting .344, increased his batting percentage after last night. OBP of 444, slugging percentage of .581, and an OPS of 1.025.
Bell steps in, takes the first pitch, just low for ball 1.
Fanpires did not like that.
Our crowd mic a little bit further away tonight as it's up here with us, as it's a weird setup to try to run that chord. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a delayed called strike 1. 1-1, a very deliberate strike call, but the umpire takes his time there, so we got to wait on that. 1-1 the count now to Reese Bell with 2 outs. Here in the top of the first, the runner down at third base, 90 feet away. The 1-1 pitch. Bell lays off and takes it low and inside for ball 2.
This will be big for Durst if he can get out of this. You get your leadoff runner on base, and if they can keep him from scoring, that's huge for the Cougars.
Logan Smith, the third baseman, waits on deck. Should the Eagles get to him. The 2-1 pitch skips into the dirt. Good block by the catcher Lopez. 3-1 now the count.
Maybe get Wheels on base and see what he can do. Motor around some bases. Big Reese.
Reese 2 for 3 last night. A double, an RBI double, and a single. Intentionally walked in the 6th inning. The 3-1 pitch. And the breaking pitch misses low for ball 4. First walk of the ball game issued by Durst. And now runners on the corners for Logan Smith. Logan comes into the ball game. He was 1 for 4 on the night last night. Had a single and a stolen base. Reached on an error. Had an RBI. Struck out once. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner on first and third. Good opportunity here for the Eagles in the top of the first, and they love to do work with 2 outs. It's been something they've gone to all year long and done a good job of. The first pitch to Logan Smith, and it's in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Riley Leininger, the designated hitter, on deck. Should the Eagles get to him. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Runners on the corners. Durst comes set. Timeout at home. Logan Smith didn't like what he had settled into. Calls time, resets. Now we'll get back in the box with an 0-1 count. Bell leads off first. The 0-1 pitch. And a foul ball off of himself as Logan kind of gimps down the first baseline.
That one hurt inside of that ankle, right off that shin bone.
And now an 0-2 count to Logan Smith, the third baseman for your Eagles. Defensively in the last pretty much all year, and I'm not taking anything away from Logan, but in the last 7-8 games, Logan has just been locked down tight at third base at the hot corner. A key part of this Eagle defense. Logan steps back in. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bell takes off. Durst will look at him, but he doesn't want to let Zavala run. Wheels! Bell got him a stolen base.
Wheels! Yes, indeed.
So now runners at second and third, and that's big. A base hit by Smith here. Has the potential to score 2 runs. The 0-2 pitch. Smith fouls it off the catcher's helmet back to the net. Stays alive in the at-bat.
Ball was a little bit inside, but you could tell Logan was trying to drive that left field.
Want to get the ball into the grass. Score at least 1, if not 2 runs here in the top of the first. Runners on second and third. A leadoff single by Zachary Mozick. Zach Zavala, the courtesy runner, stole second base. Or sack bunted up to second base. Gets to third on the wild pitch. The 0-2 pitch sent into center field. Wyman's got to drift to his left, and he'll make the catch. For out number 3. The Eagles down here in the first. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left on. After half an inning, Eagles 0, Canyon Cougars coming up to bat. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. come back here to the bottom of the first inning just to make sure you understand. Any music paid over the PA system, we do not have the rights for. It is heard through our microphones away from the press box as they play their music in between innings, walk-up songs. So we just want to make sure we do not have rights to broadcast those. We are not authorizing those to be broadcast, but they're coming through our microphones. Kelly, defensively for the Eagles here as we go to the bottom of the first.
From left to right in the outfield, Klaus Keismore in left field, Petty in center, and Heil in right field. Across the infield, Smith's at third, Hellman's at shortstop, Davis at second, Bell at first. Behind the plate is Mazak, and Haddon is on the mound.
As we go to the bottom of the first, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters will start things off for the Canyon Cougars. Blake Hollingshead, Trip Villanueva, and Robbie Lopez. Hollingshead steps in to lead things off from the right side. He was 0 for 2 in the ball game, was intentionally walked, and had a sac fly RBI. Takes the first pitch in there for a called strike. Jacob Haddon on the mound, the big lefty for the Eagles. The 0-1 pitch inside for ball 1.
I think he was willing to let that one hit him if possible, but it did not.
Count now 1-1 to Hollingshead. The 1-1 pitch. Misses low for ball 2. 2-1 the count now. In the playoffs, Jacob Haddon 2-0. And an 11-1 victory over Alamo Heights in the bi-district round. The 2-1 pitch. And Hollingshead hits it into left field for a leadoff single. Still around first base. And the ball quickly back in, and Hollingshead puts the brakes on and hurries back to first. So a leadoff single for Hollingshead, his first hit of the series. And that brings up Trip Villanueva, the second baseman for the Canyon Cougars. He was 1 for 3 last night. Had a single and reached on a base on balls, a couple of ground outs. As the Lady Eagle softball team files in. Square around a bunt, Villanueva attempts at it as that was up and in. 0-1 the count. Looks like the Cougars have the same mindset here. Try to stack bunt, move the runner up to scoring position with 1 out. Square around, 0-1, and Villanueva misses again. 0-2 the count now.
Changes things for Villanueva.
Now the signs given by Coach Nick Cazole. Hollingshead will lead off first. Reese Bell holds him on there. Haddon, the lefty, will take a look over at first base and a pickoff attempt. Hollingshead lays down and reaches out for the base. A tall right fielder for the Cougars. The Lady Eagle softball team has joined us here at Canyon High School to cheer on the boys after their regional semifinals victory. The 0-2 pitch up and in, ball 1. 1-2 the count. To Trip Villanueva with Robbie Lopez, the catcher, on deck. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Or out number 1. First strikeout of the ball game for Jacob Haddon. Like to see him settle back in there after the leadoff single, Kelly, and get that strikeout.
Yeah, Jacob does a good job of shaking off adversity and getting that lead runner on. Shouldn't affect him a whole lot.
First pitch fouled off back to the screen for a strike. 0-1 the count to Lopez. Lopez 0 for 4 last night with a strikeout, a couple ground outs. Steps in here with 1 out and a runner on first. The 0-1 pitch, and he'll pop it up. It'll drift out, it looks like, into shallow right field. E.J. Davis drifts back into shallow right field and takes care of it. P4 for out number 2. And now that'll bring up Will Canalico, the first baseman. The lefty steps in. Canalico, 1 for 3 on the night, lined out to left field, had a single, walked and scored a run in the 6th inning last night, and then grounded out in the 7th. This first pitch is in the dirt, but Mazik, great job of blocking it out in front of the plate. 1-0 the count to Canalico.
Typical of Zach. Throwing that body in there, stopping that ball.
Canalico jumps back in there from the left side. The 1-0 pitch from Haddon. Lay off, and it comes off the glove of Mazick, but Hollingshead scrambles back. 2-0 the count now. Isaac Wyman, the center fielder, on deck for the Canyon Cougars. He was 1 for 3 last night. Had a walk. The 2-0 pitch. Outside corner called, strike 1 to Canalico.
You know, I like it when the pitcher works quick, and Jacob's working quick.
Jacob back in from the stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Canalico ground ball out towards second. Davis gets it. He'll set his feet, throw to first in time. And the Cougars are down here in the bottom of the first. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on. After 1 complete inning, we're still scoreless. More Eagle baseball after this on SHN.
We'll go to the top of the second.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Don't miss the UIL Baseball State Championships starting Wednesday, June 8th at UFCU Dishwalk Field in Austin, Texas, and the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. We go to the top of the second inning. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for the Eagles. Riley Leininger leads us off. First pitch from Durst, the breaking pitch, off speed in there for a called strike.
Looks like both these starting pitchers are working well tonight, got their pitches working for them, so it's going to be interesting to see how many runs these teams can produce.
The 0-1 pitch, fastball in there for a called strike. 0-2 now to Leininger. Durst from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. And it hops in there in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 now the count to Riley Leininger, the designated hitter. 18 pitches thrown in the first inning by Durst as he works here in the top of the second. The 1-2 pitch misses outside.
Close.
2-2 the count. Leininger, the lefty, steps back in. And Durst ready to go from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. And the breaking pitch, swing and a miss. It gets away from Lopez. Leininger down the line. Lopez throws down to Canalico in time for the strikeout. 2-3 on the putout.
Riley lost his footing a little bit when he was headed down there. He may have had a chance of getting on base, but was able to get there in time.
Eli Hellman will step in here in the top of the second. Hellman comes in batting .312 on the year. On-base percentage of .444. He'll step in here against the left-handed Durst for his first appearance. The first pitch is low for ball 1. Strikeout of Leininger, the second of the ball game for Durst. From the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Inside and low for ball 2. 2-0 the count.
Nice job of being patient.
Eli back in the box. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Fastball from Durst. Durst back ready. The 2-1 pitch. Hellman swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2 the count now with 1 out here in the top of the second. Ty Klaus Keismore, the left fielder, on deck for the Eagles. The 2-2 pitch fouled off back towards Klaus Keismore in the on-deck circle. He dances out of the way. So a 2-2 count stays there for Hellman.
They actually have on-deck circles, too.
Do not be like Beltray. The 2-2 pitch misses outside for ball 3. Beautiful location, but just outside into the left-handed hitter's batter's box. And now the count full to Eli Hellman with 1 out. Durst back on the mound, ready to go. The payoff pitch to Hellman. And Hellman fouls it off back to the net.
The sun is not going to be a huge factor for the fielders tonight because it is coming in at an angle that should be pretty manageable for everybody, except for the first base dugout.
The payoff pitch drifts up a little high, and a big at-bat there for Eli Hellman, an 8-pitch walk. So a good job of a quality at-bat. The second walk of the ball game issued by Durst. And that'll bring up Ty Klaus Keismore.
Ty's batting .304 on the season, coming into tonight with an OBP of .414, a slugging percentage of .413, and an OPS of .827. The team is averaging .326 batting average on the season. The starters tonight.
Hellman steps, leads off first base. The first pitch to Klaus Keismore, outside corner. Called a strike. Reminiscent location of the breaking pitch, called a ball on Hellman, but a different look there with the fastball. 0-1 to count now to Ty. Pickoff attempt over to first base. And Candelico just does a good job of keeping it at the first base area, as that one was high across there. But look, Eli Hellman dove back in safely. Hellman leads back off. Candelico holds him on. The 0-1 pitch, and Ty sends it into right field. Hollingshead, he'll move over towards the left field line and make the catch for out number 2, F9 in the book. And that'll bring up Andon Petty. Andon Petty's first time to be back in the lineup as a hitter in the last 3 games, as he left in the game 1 against Floresville with a slight injury, and he's worked his way back here now tonight. Petty steps in with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Hellman leads off first. Candelico holds him on. Pickoff attempt. Hellman will dive back in safely at first base. Zachary Mozick, the catcher, on deck for the Eagles. Should we get to him? Durst comes set. First pitch. Petty pulls the bat back. Takes it outside for a ball. The third baseman, E.J. Garcia, the pitcher of record last night, the losing pitcher in game 1, plays third base tonight. He's about 4 feet in on the grass at third base. Petty back in the box. The 1-0 pitch will come after another pickoff attempt. Eli Hellman dives back in safely. Two outs here in the top of the second. A runner on first. The 1-0 pitch. Petty turns and squares the bunt, but pulls it back. Takes it in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count.
Some quality smack talk going up here in the stands. Oh, goodness.
1-1 count to Andon Petty. Squares around now. Bunts it down the first baseline, but it's foul. So the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andon Petty. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Eagles had runners on second and third in the first inning and left them stranded there. Got a runner on at first here with 2 outs in the top of the second. The 1-2 pitch to Petty. A swing and a foul ball back to the screen. Petty stays alive. 1-2 the count still. The next pitch will be the 20th of the inning for Durst. So in 2 innings, 38 pitches at this point. A lot of pitches early from Durst, so a good thing by the Eagle batters to at least get through the lineup and make Durst throw a lot of pitches early. Hellman takes off. Petty fouls it off back to the screen. Every pitch Petty sees from this point on just continues to drive that pitch count up for Durst. And something that, because we don't know any history here with Canyon this year, what their pitching depth is. And so Durst was the Game 3 starter against Rouse back in the bi-district playoff round, starting Game 2 tonight. This one outside, misses for ball 2. And that's another example of the same thing, Kelly. The breaking pitch on that spot is not awarded. A fastball on that spot has been called.
Well, the way that left-hander's pitch break, it starts outside the strike zone. So it's going to have to come back a pretty good amount.
Hellman takes off the pickoff attempt. Canelico throws down, but not in time. Hellman slid under the tag by the shortstop, Ortiz. And Eli Hellman gets the stolen base there. Now an opportunity.
We don't have rights for the music you're going to hear, and we can't control some of the language that you're going to hear from the fans. So we apologize for some of that.
But Eli Hellman was off on movement, and Durst threw to Canelico. He throws down to Ortiz, but the tag was high, and Hellman slid under. 2-2 the count to Petty. The 2-2 pitch, and Petty hits it out towards short, and it's going to get into center field. Here comes Hellman around third base, the cutoff at the mound, and now the throw gets away, and here goes Andon Petty. He'll cruise on up to second base, and he'll stop there, and the Eagles are awarded a run on a beautiful base hit by Andon Petty. He makes noise in the first inning of his first return back, and now that slide by Hellman to get under the tag of Ortiz, huge, as Hellman scores on the RBI single by Andon Petty. 1-0 your score here in the bottom of the second.
And Wally, that's some of the things that we were told before this game by people who've scouted Canyon. They are prone to some errors, so we'll see if that affects them. That's one big play right there that puts a very valuable run on the board. And I'm thinking the way Durst is throwing, the way Haddon's throwing, runs are going to be a premium again tonight.
What a great job there by Andon Petty, the RBI single. He's up at second on the throw home. And in steps Zach Mozick, 1-for-1 in the ball game with the runner at second base. And now Durst will step off. A lot of attention paid last night by E.J. Garcia, the pitcher for the Cougars, to the runners, and it paid off in that sense because the Eagles are running on them, and they did a lot of activity on the base pass. Same thing again tonight. The first pitch to Mozick, outside, on the outside corner, called a strike. 0-1 the count. Mozick had a leadoff single to open up the ball game in the top of the first inning. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner on second.
Both of these teams are unafraid to run.
The 0-1 pitch, Mozick is cut and a miss. 0-2 the count now to Zach Mozick. No balls and 2 strikes. Durst to look back at second. The 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count. To this point in the series, through a game and an inning, Zachary Mozick 3 for 3, was hit by a pitch, intentionally walked. He's gotten on base every at-bat plate appearance in the series. Just what you kind of come to expect from your senior catcher, Zachary Mozick.
We said last night he's probably a little underappreciated, at least by myself.
The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Good block there by Robbie Lopez, the catcher, to keep Andon Petty down at second base. 2-2 now, the count to Zachary Mozick. E.J. Davis on deck for the Eagles. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. 1-0 Georgetown has a run across here in the top of the second. A runner down at second base and Andon Petty. The 2-2 pitch misses high and outside, ball 3.
In that pitch count going up, Zach's done a good job. He went down 0-2 pretty quickly, but now he's brought it to a full count.
The next pitch, the 28th of the inning for Durst. The payoff pitch to Mozick. Mozick chops it foul down the first base line. Over to Coach Payne. Error on Coach Payne. He boots it over to the dugout. Of the assist to Coach Payne. He just rolled it over to the dugout smooth there. Give him credit. 3-2, still the count to Zachary Mozick. The 29th pitch of the inning now. Coming from Durst. But another pickoff attempt towards second base. No throw. But Andon Petty returns. Petty leads off second. The payoff pitch to Mazik. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Eagles are down here in the top of the second, but not before they get a run on 1 hit. No errors and 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, 1-0, Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels Canyon. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Go to the bottom of the second inning. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Cougars here in the bottom of the second. Wyman, Janner, and Banks. 1 run in the top of the second as the Eagles on top, 1-0. 1 run on 2 hits and no errors, and they did give an error on the throwing error to the play at home, which allowed Petty to move up to second. First pitch from Haddon in there for a called strike to Wyman. 0-1 to count. So 1 run on a hit. 1 error in the top of the second. The 0-1 pitch. And Wyman fouls it off the plate off of himself. 0-2 now the count.
Last week when we saw Jacob pitch in the second round of the playoffs, he didn't look as comfortable. And even Coach Vieira said he didn't have his best stuff, but he kept battling. Tonight his pitches look a little bit better, like he's got a little more confidence in especially his breaking pitch tonight.
0-2 pitch to Wyman. Outside, just outside for ball 1. Nice spot there on the 0-2 pitch. Mazik set up. He hit the spot, trying to draw a swing from Wyman. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch, just high for ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Haddon from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Misses outside. Now the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Saw Zach the Eagles half of this inning take an 0-2 count and bring it to a full count. Now we've got that with this Canyon batter.
Full count to Wyman. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And down goes Wyman. Second strike of the ball game for Jacob Haddon. And that'll bring up Evan Janner. Beautiful job by Haddon to come back in that at-bat after going up 0-2 and down to 3-2. The first pitch to Janner. Hesitation, a swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Comes off his cleats on that kind of swing. Expecting a fastball, gets a breaking pitch, thinks he can do something with it, and has to throw the head of the bat out quickly and didn't quite get there in time.
The 0-1 pitch from Haddon. And a ball flown into left field. Curling towards foul territory. Klaus Keismore on a long run. He'll make the catch in foul territory for out number 2. F7 in the book. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Chandler Banks. I was about to say Wyman was 1 for 4 last night. Or Janner was 1 for 4 last night in the ball game. Now 0 for 1. And Chandler Banks steps in. He was 1 for 3 on the night. Struck out. Was hit by a pitch. Reached on an error and had a single in the 7th. Was left stranded on first base as the ball game ended. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. 0-1 to count to Chandler Banks, the designated hitter. Hits for the pitcher, Durst. The 0-1 pitch is high. 1-1 to count now to Chandler Banks.
Jacob's breaking pitches really seem to have a lot of movement on them tonight.
The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Kelly Donstress spoke of that right there on point. And now a 2-1 count to Chandler Banks. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen for the 1-2 pitch. And so Banks stays alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Coach V beating that player to that ball like the hustler, lack of distance.
The 1-2 pitch misses. And now the count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, you started that train, so I'm just going to jump on it.
Hey, you know, we got to call it as we see it. We try to be fair. The 2-2 pitch from Hedden. Ground ball out towards short. Hellman on a couple of hops. He'll throw across the diamond in time for out number 3. 6-3 in the book, and the Cougars go in order here in the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2 complete, 1-0, Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels Canyon. Quick timeout, back with more Eagle Baseball on SHN.
I wish they had 2 of these.
As we go to the top of the third, E.J. Davis will lead it off. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters do it for the Eagles. 1-0 to lead for the Eagles after 2 innings. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Eagles. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Canyon Cougars. Durst on for the 3rd inning of work. First pitch to Davis. The breaking pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike. Davis had a beautiful sac bunt in the top of the 1st to move Zavala up to second base. Steps in here. 47 pitches through 2 innings by Durst. The 0-1 pitch hops in there. Lopez getting beat up early here in the ballgame. Catcher for the Cougars. That is a lot of pitches in the dirt.
He did a good job last night of stopping some. They could have cost other runs here and there, but both these catchers are fun to watch.
Durst from the windup, the 1-1 pitch, and Davis slaps it into right field, and it's going to be down. That's a leadoff hit. Now he'll get it all the way to the walls. Hollinghead chases it down, and it's going to be a leadoff double by E.J. Davis, and the throw gets into left field as it got away from the shortstop Ortiz, but Davis stays put. Has a good job of backup there by the left fielder, Janner. Keeps E.J. Davis at second base. A leadoff double, the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Eagles.
Nice job of sending that ball to the opposite field. And the right fielder was playing way away from that line, so he had a long run to go.
That'll bring up Landon Heil, the right fielder. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game. Struck out swinging in the 1st. Steps in here with no outs. And a runner on second base. Thinking we may have a bunt here by Heil. 3rd baseman playing deep, and he does. He squares around, takes the ball, the bat back, takes it for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Heil.
Eagles had a couple of problems last night with some bunts, popped some up. So they're going to have to do a little better job tonight of making sure they get those bunts down.
0-1 to count to Landon Heil. E.J. Davis down at second, the leadoff double to start the 3rd. Durst takes a look back at second. Now a awkward move there. No throw, but Davis walks back over to the base. He's safe. Landon Heil back in the box. Durst from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Heil pulls the bat back and takes it high and outside for ball 1. 1-1 to count to Landon Heil, the right fielder. On deck, Reese Wells-Bell. recorded his first stolen base of the year. First inning. Durst, a look back at Davis at second base. The 1-1 pitch. And Heil sends it into right center field. A long run for the center fielder, Wyman. He'll make the catch, but E.J. Davis will tag up, and he'll move to third on the deep fly ball. What a job there by Landon Heil. Moves the runner up to third base, and now the next run on for the Eagles, down 90 feet away with one out here in the top of the third. A great piece of hitting there by Landon Heil.
Again, with the quality of – oh, they called him out. Said he left early.
And there goes Coach Vieira. That'll be interesting to look at. Coach Vieira point and tells that umpire, how are you calling it? You're supposed to be watching the ball in center field, and yet you're calling him out at second. It's not his call. It's the argument Coach Vieira's making with the second base umpire. And the umpire will not ask for an appeal. So it'll be that'll bring up Reese Bell. With 2 outs and no runners on. First pitch to Bell. Misses low for a ball. Bell walked in the first inning. Stole second base. Was left stranded there. The 1-0 pitch. Misses low and outside for ball 2.
You got to be extra careful on leaving that base early, but that ball was deep enough. There was no need to try to jump it a lot, but get excited.
A 2-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 2-1 to count. Durst from the windup. The 2-1 pitch. And Reese Bell fouls that one back to the backstop. 2-2 now the count. So the Cougars go from 1 out and a runner at third to 2 outs and the base is empty. And Reese Bell stepping in.
How about Reese just hit a bomb to left field?
Would be beautiful. The 2-2 pitch. And Bell hits it to center field. Wyman gives chase, and it's a solo take! Reese Bell! Kelly Dawson, oh my gosh. He calls it, hey, he said, I'll see your left field and raise you center. Reese Bell with a solo take!
I called the home run, though.
To Kelly Domstress. Woo! Reese Bell takes advantage.
365.
Straight away dead center field, and what a shot.
Wow.
A solo bomb. Makes it a 2-0 lead, and that makes up for that running mistake.
I was so excited when it left the bat, I forgot to switch cameras. Sorry.
The first home run of the night, the 4th hit by the Eagle hitters. And now Logan Smith will step in with 2 outs and the base is empty. 2-0 now. Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels Canyon. First pitch, Logan Smith hits it into center field. Wyman back on it. He'll make the catch before the warning track for out number 3. F8 in the book for out number 3, but not before the Eagles do some damage here in the top of the third. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, no runners left on base. 2-0. The Eagles lead it after 2.5 thanks to an Reese Bell jack in the top of the third. Big timeout. And we're back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. go to the bottom of the third. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters, 2 out for the Canyon Cougars. Garcia, Ortiz, and Hollingshead. E.J. Garcia, the third baseman, steps in for his first appearance of the night. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. 0-1 the count. 28 pitches through 2 innings for Jacob Haddon. He's allowed 1 hit, struck out 2 in the 2 innings of work. The 0-1 pitch, and a ball slapped down the left field line, but foul. 0-2 the count now to E.J. Garcia. Garcia, the third baseman tonight. The pitcher in game 1 it took the loss for the Cougars. The 0-2 pitch fouled off back towards the third base dugout. Garcia stays alive. Sam Ortiz, the shortstop, on deck for the Cougars. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Mazik will pick it up, step inside the line, and throw down to Bell at first. Third strikeout of the ball game for Jacob Haddon. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Sam Ortiz steps in for his first time in the series. Played shortstop last night for the Cougars, but was the designated hitter hit for him. So Ortiz now in the lineup tonight with Durst on the mound, and Chandler Banks hits for him. So now Sam Ortiz steps in the number 9 hole. First pitch, and he pops it up on the infield to the right side. E.J. Davis drifts back into shallow right field. He'll make the catch for out number 2, P4 in the book. And a quick out there. Brings us back to the top of the lineup. Blake Hollingshead, he led off the bottom of the first for the Cougars with a base hit.
Well, I got to say, the camera control is nowhere near as good as it is when Jerry Ann Harmon is here. So we miss her when she's not here.
The first pitch to Hollingshead, and a ground ball slapped towards the third base dugout as the Cougars scatter there. 0-1 to count to Hollingshead. 1 for 1 on the night with that single. Left stranded at first base in the first inning. Steps in here with 2 outs and the base is empty. Jacob Haddon on the mound, ready to go. The 0-1 pitch just misses on the inside part of the plate. 1-1 now the count.
Some teams have been able to do some damage against the Eagles with 2 outs, so be good for the Eagles to get out of this right here.
The 1-1 pitch. Hollingshead was trying to go and emulate Reese Bell with a solo shot of his own, but he swung and a miss there. 1-2 the count now. He went for the big bomb there. Big swing. The 1-2 pitch, and Hollingshead gets a hold of this one, but he fouls it off into the football bleachers down the left field line. 1-2 still the count for Hollingshead. Haddon ready to go from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Up and out for ball 2. 2-2 now the count to the right fielder, Blake Hollingshead. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards third. Logan Smith fields it. Clutches, now throws on the run. And a great job by Reese Bell. He gets it out of the dirt and stays with it and puts the tag on Hollingshead for out number 3. 5-3 on the play. And the Canyon Cougars go in order once again. After 3 innings, 2-0. Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels Canyon. Back with more Eagle playoff baseball in just a moment.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Don't miss the UIL Baseball State Championship starting Wednesday, June 8th at UFC Disch-Falk Field in Austin, Texas, and the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. Top of the 4th inning, the Eagles lead it by 2. 2-0. 1 run in the second, 1 in the third. Leading it off will be Riley Leininger. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up here in the top of the fourth for the Eagles. Leininger steps in from the left side, 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out looking in the first, or swinging in the first. The first pitch from Durst is in there for a called strike. Durst on for his fourth inning of work through 3 innings, 59 pitches thrown. He struck out 3, walked 2, allowed 2 runs, both of them earned. The 0-1 pitch, and Leininger hits it up the middle. Durst, it's off his glove towards third base. Leininger down the line, and he'll beat it to first base. What a job by Riley Leininger to get down the first base line. It's recorded a hit. That was a quick comebacker off the Durst glove over to Garcia at third, but unable to get Leininger a leadoff single for the Eagles.
Riley hustling down the line. The play was closer than I thought it was going to be whenever it came off at Durst, but did a good job of hustling down the line, get the leadoff hitter on. Now we got to move him around.
5th hit of the ball game for the Eagles. Now a runner on for Eli Hellman. Pickoff attempt, and Leininger dives back in safely. Hellman walked in his first at bat, stole second base, and then came in to score on the RBI single by Andon Petty. Durst comes set from the stretch, the first pitch, and Hellman tries to bunt down the first baseline, but it goes foul. 0-1 the count now to Eli Hellman, the shortstop for your Eagles. Beautiful crowd tonight. A lot of Canyon Cougar faithful out here for this home ball game, and a good crowd that includes the regional final qualifying Lady Eagles softball team. The 0-1 pitch to Hellman, swings away and a miss. 0-2 the count to Eli Hellman. Ground ball by Hellman out to short. They'll try to turn the double play. The play to second in time, but not to first base. So Hellman will reach on the fielder's choice. 6-4 on the put out of Leininger at second base. 4 out, number 1. Klaus Keismore steps in. He flew out to right field in his first at bat tonight. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. The umpires throw out their hand signals to each other. Now Hellman will lead off first base. Ty Klaus Keismore in. The first pitch to him. Breaking pitch just off the outside corner. Kelly, we've talked about it, and you hear a grumble in the crowd, which I understand. But the thing is, you said it so correctly. The lefty Durst delivers so far out, and that ball starts so far out of the strike zone, it has to travel. And by the time it gets to the catcher, the umpire's not giving it to him. Pickoff attempt, and Hellman back safely at first base standing. And so, but on that fastball, it's coming in there quicker, and it looks crisper, and he's getting that strike.
Yeah, and you're going to get the benefit of the doubt on the fastball. It's an easier pitch to call. And just like every other position on the field, there's some struggles.
Klaus Keismore slaps out on the hit and run as Hellman had taken off on the pitch, but fouls it off down the right field line. 1-1 now the count to Ty Klaus Keismore.
I guess struggles isn't the right word. There's some challenges. And when you've got a lefty throwing, and that because he's got the arm angle, he extends his pitching arm really long, so that ball is starting outside the strike zone.
The 1-1 pitch, Klaus Keismore pops it up on the infield. The first baseman, Canalico, gives way to the second baseman, Villanueva, and he'll make the catch for out number 2, P4 in the book. And that will bring up the number 9 hitter, Andon Petty. He has an RBI single in his first appearance, 1 for 1 on the night. He reached second on the throwing error as Canalico had cut the ball off from the center fielder, Wyman, and then tried to throw home and overthrew the catcher, and that allowed Andon Petty to move up to second base. Pickoff attempt, and Hellman quickly back over, standing. He's safe there. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Eagles. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error for the Cougars. Here in the top of the 4th, the runner on first with 2 outs. The first pitch to Petty, squares the bunt, pulls it back. The throw down on Hellman, stealing, And in time, nice throw by the catcher, Lopez. A late jump there by Hellman. And he's caught stealing. 2-6 on the pickoff. And the Eagles go quietly here in the top of the fourth. No runs on one hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0. Georgetown leads it. More Eagle baseball in a moment.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know.
We go to the bottom of the fourth. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Cougars. Villanueva, Lopez, and Canalico. They all come up to bat here in on the bottom of the fourth, all 0 for 1 in the ball game. Villanueva struck out swinging in the first. The first pitch from Haddon, and a ball sent into left field. Klaus Keismore gives chase, and that's a deep one almost to the wall. And it is a solo home run for Trip Villanueva. That'll cut into the Georgetown lead, cut it in half. Villanueva got it up into the jet stream of this big wind blowing to left field and got it out. Villanueva only his second hit in the series, but a big one here. A solo home run.
Cut that lead in half. Let's see how Jacob reacts to that. Is that the first home run he's given up this season, I think?
I think so. And now that'll bring up Robbie Lopez, the catcher. He popped out to E.J. Davis in the first inning. 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch to Lopez, and he swings. Drives it into right field. Landon Heil gives chase. He chases it backwards, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. F9 in the book. And that'll bring up Will Canalico. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to Davis at second base. He'll step in here with 1 out. Cougars trail by 1 now, 2-1. Off the solo home run by Trip Villanueva, the second baseman. The first pitch to Canalico in there for a called strike, 0-1 to count.
I was hoping that wind was going to die down a little bit when the sun started to set, but it's picked up, I think.
Nice south wind. Blows right out to left field. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner, called strike 2. And you hear the booing and the arguing of it. That's a lefty throwing across to the outside corner against the left side hitter. It traveled across the plate. A different look than what Durst has given him. The 0-2 pitch, and Canalico stays alive as he fouls it off himself in the batter's box. So the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. 39 pitches through 3 innings for Jacob Haddon. Haddon ready to go from the windup. Canalico back in the box from the left side. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards second. Davis on a big hop. Throws to first in time for out number 2. 4-3 on the putout. That'll bring up Isaac Wyman, the center fielder. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game.
PA guy said it.
Yeah, it's a recording.
Is it?
It's a recording. he pronounced it 1 time for the year. Isaac Wyman, a very long name, and we just stick with Wyman like we were given guidance. Struck out swinging in the second inning. Steps in here. Ground ball out to third, and it gets under a diving Logan Smith into left field for a base hit. A 2-out single for Wyman. There's a runner on base for Evan Janner.
Neither one of these teams afraid to swing the bat on the first pitch.
Evan Janner flew out to left field in his first at bat. The lefty steps in. Last night was 1 for 4. 1 for 5 in the series, 0 for 1 on the night. The first pitch from Haddon, and he swings, hits it into the center field, but right at Andon Petty for out number 3. L8 in the book, and the bottom of the fourth comes to a close, but not before the Cougars cut the lead in half on a solo home run by Trip Villanueva. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left on. After 4 complete, 2-1 your score. Georgetown leads it over New Braunfels Canyon. Back with more Eagle Baseball in just a moment on SHN. Go to the top of the 5th inning. 2-1. The Georgetown Eagles lead it over the Cougars. Andon Petty due up here to lead things off. The 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Eagles in the top of the 5th. Petty, Mozick, and Davis. Petty squares around a bunt, drops it out towards the mound. Durst will field it, throw to first in time. 1-3 on the putout. And that'll bring up Zachary Mozick. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game, a single and a strikeout. 67 pitches thrown by Durst through 4 innings. The first pitch to Mozick, it misses 4-1. But like we've talked about many a times before, this Eagle offense has to be patient. See pitches from these guys. Let the pitch count get up there. The 1-0 pitch to Mozick, outside corner, called strike 1. And that's where they get the left-handed strike, that break and pitch across the outside corner to a lefty.
You saw Jacob get it in the previous half inning.
The 1-1 pitch to Mozick, and he'll foul it off the handle down the third baseline. Good coach Vieira fields that.
Like a champ.
I tell you what, 1-2 the count now to Zachary Mozick. E.J. Davis waits on deck for the Eagles here in the top of the 5th. Durst from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, Lopez with a good block. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Durst back on the mound, ready to go. The 2-2 pitch to Mozick. Low and in the dirt. Lopez blocks it again, bats it around. And the count runs full now to Zachary Mozick. And here's where the senior catcher doing a great job, one of the leaders of this team. Seeing several pitches, works the count now full. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The payoff pitch to Mozick. And it misses low and outside. Ball 4. And a 1-out walk for Mozick. 3rd walk of the ball game for Braden Durst. And that'll bring Zach Zavala out of the dugout to run for the catcher. Zavala, the courtesy runner at first.
When Zach got to first base, he looked at the dugout and gave it a yeah. Doesn't matter whether you get on with a hit or a walk, hit by pitch. Zach's job is get on base, and he did his job very well there.
Saw 6 pitches and got on base with 1 out. Zavala leads off. Canalico holds him on. Durst will try to pick him off as Zavala dives back in safely. As the sun sets off to our left. What a beautiful night. Durst comes set from the stretch. Pickoff attempt. Zavala dives back in. Tagged by Canalico, not in time. Zach Zavala ran in the first inning, got up to second on a sac bunt by Davis. Moved to third on a wild pitch, was left stranded, takes off running here. The throw down by Lopez, but it's going to be up the line towards first base. And Ortiz unable to get the tag on. Zavala still second base. And now a runner in scoring position again for the Eagles. With one out.
What's the count?
Should be a 1 ball and no strikes. Home plate, the scoreboard didn't put it up. E.J. Davis steps back in. Now Durst. A lot of attention paid to Zavala at second base.
Zach's like, all right. There's Zavala.
The breaking pitch misses outside
Seen
for a
that?
ball, and that's going to be 1-1. They did call the first pitch a strike, so the count 1-1. Wonder how long before Coach Pierre kills that, being someone in the stands using a bullhorn. They stopped it last night at Georgetown. A 1-1 to count to E.J. Davis. The 1-1 pitch. That one got in there. Nice pitch there. 1-2 now the count to E.J. Davis. Davis takes time, steps out. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. A runner at second, and Zach Zavala, the runner for Mazick. The 1-2 pitch. It's in the dirt. Lopez is going to have to pay attention. Now he gets it down to first in time. Another strikeout recorded for Durst. For out number 2. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Durst. And now Landon Heil will step in. Landon Heil, 0 for 2 in the ball game, a strikeout and a fly out to center field. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at second. Good time for the Eagles to try to do some work here with 2 outs. Durst comes set, a look back at second base, held on by Villanueva. The first pitch to Heil on the outside corner for a called strike. See Durst moving that in a little bit further now and getting the calls there on the outside corner.
Yeah, that's a tough strike to hit.
0-1 the count to Landon Heil. Pickoff attempt to second base. Zavala dives back in. Safe there at second. No balls and 1 strike to Landon Heil. Durst to look back at second. Another pickoff attempt, and Zavala dives back in safely. A lot of attention paid here to the runners.
I would too.
Zavala,
As aggressive as both these teams are on the base paths.
Zavala, speedy runner at second base. A base hit will score him definitely from second base. The 0-1 pitch, blowing outside for a ball. The count evens up at 1-1 now to Landon Heil. Zach Bell waits an opportunity on deck.
Or Reese Bell.
I said Landon Bell, didn't I?
You said Zach.
Zach Bell. There's so many Zachs on this team.
I know.
Reese Wills Bell waits on deck. The 1-1 pitch to Landon Heil. And Landon hits it out towards second, but Villanueva was pretty much standing there as he was covering Zavala at second base. The runner, the ball hit right to him. 4-3 on the putout. And the Eagles are down here in the top of the 5th. No runs on no hits, 1 error, no errors. 1 runner left on base. After 4.5, 2-1 your score. The Eagles lead it by 1. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. go to the bottom of the fifth. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Canyon Cougars. Banks, Garcia, and Ortiz. Banks 0 for 1 in the ball game. Grounded out to Eli Hellman at short. Between innings. Banks hits this one down the left field line. But it's a foul ball. They thought it was out of here, and it didn't even make it to the wall. A long strike for Chandler Banks. But during the break there, the umpire pulled in the coach from Canyon, and the bullhorn is now gone.
Yeah.
Like it was last night. The 0-1 pitch to Banks, and he fouls it off back to the screen. 0-2 the count. Through 4 innings, Jacob Haddon has thrown 47 pitches, allowed 2 hits. One of them was a home run. The 1 run, it is earned. He struck out 3. The 0-2 count to Banks. And a fly ball sent down the right field line. Landon Heil gives chase, and he'll make the catch right on the line for out number 1. F9 in the book. And that'll bring up number 5, E.J. Garcia, the third baseman. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out swinging back in the third inning. E.J. was 1 for 3 in the ball game last night. Steps in here with 1 out. In the bottom of the fifth, no runners on. The first pitch misses just low for a ball.
I want to welcome all our viewers on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us. Thanks for checking into our coverage tonight.
The 1-0 pitch misses. 2-0 the count to Garcia now. Sam Ortiz, the shortstop, on deck. The 2-0 pitch from Haddon. Ground ball out. Smith dives, but it's off his glove. It was a shot. And that'll be a hit for Garcia quickly up on the board. They rule it a hit. Fourth hit of the ball game. That'll bring up Sam Ortiz. The runner on first and 1 out. Ortiz 0 for 1 in the series, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Popped out to E.J. Davis back in the third inning. Steps in here from the right side, the shortstop. Garcia leads off first. Reese Bell holds him on there. Haddon comes set. The first pitch misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Garcia leads off. The 1-0 pitch fouled off back to the screen. 1-1 the count to Sam Ortiz. Game 2 of the regional quarterfinal series between the Eagles and the Cougars. Pickoff attempt. Garcia dives back in safely. Game 1 went the way of the Eagles last night, 6-4 in Georgetown. The winner of Game 2 tonight, if it's the Eagles, they advance in a 2-game sweep to go to the regional semifinals. Another pickoff attempt. Garcia dives back in safely at first. If the Cougars come back and win this one, Kelly, we go to Game 3 tomorrow night, 7 p.m. first pitch at Westlake High School for the all-deciding Game 3. The 1-1 pitch in there, called strike 2 to Ortiz. Good time for a double play ball here for this Eagle defense to get out of this inning and get to the 6th. Garcia leads off. The 1-2 pitch, and there's a ball. Popped up down the first baseline. Reese Bell ranges over and makes the catch for out number 2. P3 in the book, I apologize. For out number 2, and that'll bring up Blake Hollingshead, the number 1 hitter in the lineup. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. He had a leadoff single in the bottom of the first, then grounded out to Logan Smith in the third to end the inning. Remember on that play, Logan made the throw in a hurry. Reese Bell gets it out of the dirt and then comes off the bag to make the tag of Hollingshead for the out. First pitch to Hollingshead, outside corner, called strike 1.
That was one of the wider strikes we've seen called a strike tonight.
But a fastball in that.
Right.
It wasn't a breaking pitch, and where he's tended to give more room out there to the fastball. The 0-1 pitch to Hollingshead. Inside corner, just missed for ball 1.
And Jacob is on that, from our view, the far left side of that rubber, so it's a greater angle to cross the plate.
1-1 count to Hollingshead. The 1-1 pitch, and a ball hit down the left field line, and this may be out of here. And the Cougars take the lead on a Hollingshead 2-run home run. 3-2 your score as Hollingshead took it right down the left field line, put it up in the wind, and got it out of here in a hurry.
With 2 outs.
Hollingshead gives the Cougars the lead, 3-2. Second home run of the ball game.
That was a no-doubter.
For the Canyon Cougars. Oh, 3-2 your score. First pitch to Villanueva. He hit the other home run. Is a ball. 1-0 the count. The 1-0 count. Just misses outside. 2-0 the count. 2-0 the count to Trip Villanueva. Hatton from the windup. The 2-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike on the inside corner. 2-1 the count now to Villanueva. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Struck out in the first. A solo home run in the fourth. The 2-1 pitch and a ground ball hit out towards Bell on a hop. Reese gets it and will take the play all by himself. 3 unassisted in the book, but not before the Cougars take the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, no runners left on. After 5 innings, it's 3-2. New Braunfels leads the Georgetown Eagles in Game 2. Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. To the top of the 6th inning. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up here for the Eagles. Bell, Smith, and Leininger. Reese Bell 1 for 1 in the ball game. Walked in the first. Solo home run in the third. Durst on for his 6th inning of work. And Bell slaps it down the left field line. That's going to be in the fair for a base hit. All the way to the wall. Wheels Bell around first, and he'll have a leadoff double for the Eagles here in the top of the 6th.
Wheels just motoring around those bases. Man, he has been hot in the playoffs.
Leadoff double for Reese Bell, and that'll bring out a pinch runner in number 23, Jacob Faltasek.
Your runner is second base number 23, Jacob Faltasek.
Nick Cazole comes out of the dugout. Talks to the home plate umpire. Appeal to first base, said Reese missed first base. Second base running error of the night, but Coach Payne arguing. And here comes Coach Vieira all the way across. That is if the call stands, that's a huge base running error for the Eagles. Second of the night. The sad thing is the umpire's 15, 20 feet behind the bag, saying that Reese didn't touch it on the near side of the bag. Looked like Reese went over the bag to us.
He touched it.
Coach Vieira now heads to home plate to talk to the home plate umpire. So the first down of the inning, instead of a leadoff double. The base running error. So you count the hit. Now steps in Logan Smith. First pitch is high for a ball. Logan 0 for 2 in the ball game. A line drive to center field and a fly ball to center field. Steps in here with one out and the base is empty. Sees this pitch low for ball 2. 81 pitches through 5 innings for Durst. He works here in the top of the 6th.
The previous base running error, this game's tied.
Swing and a miss on the 2-0 pitch. 2-1 now. To Logan Smith. On deck, Riley Leininger, the designated hitter. The 2-1 pitch to Smith, and he's going to hit it into left field. He gets up into the air, and Logan Smith may have just tied this game, and he did. A solo tank by Logan Smith. Excuse me very much. And now Coach Vieira lighting up the first base umpire, saying it should be a 2-run home run. He is not happy. But Logan Smith evened up the ball game with a solo home run. Coach Vieira just beside himself, and he should be. He'll go back and watch this one later. Reese Bell went across the bag, clearly at first base.
He put his foot right in the middle of the base. We went back and watched the video. He put his foot right in the middle of the base. I don't know what the umpire was looking at. Uh-oh, he's got something to say now. He warned him. First base umpire just warned Coach Vieira.
So now the score tied 3-3 on the home run by Logan Smith. Riley Leininger steps in. One out here in the top of the 6th. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch outside for a ball. So 1-0 pitch in there.
Nice breaking pitch.
1-1 the count to Leininger. Struck out in the 2nd. And had a nice infield single in the 4th. 1-1 pitch. Stays inside. 2-1 now the count. Leininger reached after he hit that single off the glove of Durst. A shot back at the mound that went over towards third base, but Garcia unable to get the runner in time. The 2-1 pitch. Leininger swinging a miss. 2-2 the count. Eli Hellman on deck for the Eagles.
Would you have thought 4 home runs tonight?
No, I would not have. 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, and now the count goes full. .91 pitches thus far in the ballgame for Durst. The payoff pitch to Leininger. Misses outside, and that's a walk. So a 1-out base runner for the Eagles. 4th walk of the night issued by Durst. And that'll be a visit from Coach Nick Gazole. Right here, while he goes out to visit, Kelly, I think we would be wrong if we didn't say thank you. Coach Nick Gazole from the get-go. We got here early. They were in a lightning delay. The players were in the locker room for the Canyon Cougars. The Eagles were on their bus. And we came out, made contact with a young man in the press box. He pointed us towards Coach Nick Gazole. And Coach Nick Gazole was everything we could imagine, being hospitable to let us set up here tonight on top of the press box. Everyone we've dealt with has been helpful, lending a hand and making sure we had everything we needed. And so we have to thank them and the Canyon Cougars for their hospitality tonight.
Just so hospitable. They've accommodated everything we asked. We've got a great perch up here. Chairs. Thankful for the chairs. Pitching change.
Now coming into pitch will be number 21, Garrett Thiel. The right-hander will come in for the Cougars. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back and set it all up. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN Sports.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you love.
Don't miss the UIL Baseball State Championships starting Wednesday, June 8th at UFCU Dishfrog Field in Austin, Texas, and the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. Back here live at New Braunfels Canyon High School. We're in the top of the sixth. Garrett Thiele on to pitch. We heard him announce it over the PA system. Eli Hellman steps in with one out and a runner at first. Riley Leininger drew the one-out walk, and that chased Durst from the ballgame. Thiele into pitch now for the Cougars against Eli Hellman. The first pitch misses low and outside for ball one.
Got a quick step, so it's going to be difficult to get a good jump on him as long as he keeps that low, quick step in from the stretch.
Hellman walked in his first appearance. Reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth, 0 for 1 in the ball game. The count 1-0 from Thiele. The 1-0 pitch, low for ball. No, wow. Called a strike. 1-1 now the count to Eli Hellman, the shortstop. Ty Klaus Keismore waits on deck for the Eagles. One out here in the top of the sixth, tied up on the Logan Smith solo home run. 3-3 your score. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. 1-2 now the count to Eli Hellman.
This kid's got a lot of break on his curveball.
Go now from the lefty and Durst to the righty and Thiele. So the hitters have to readjust now to the right-handed thrower. The 1-2 pitch to Hellman. Breaking pitch misses outside. Beautiful location to try to get Hellman to chase. Yeah. But a good eye there by Hellman, and now the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Hitter tends to be a little more aggressive on those whenever you got a 1-2 count on you, but he did a good job of laying off that pitch.
So the junior shortstop, Eli Hellman. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch. Misses low, ball 3. Tried to check out the scouting report from our buddies over at Rouse High School, and Thiele did not appear on the scouting report that he had ever pitched. Another arm up in the bullpen for the Cougars down the third baseline. Full count to Eli Hellman. Leininger leads off the payoff pitch. Ball forward, it gets away. But Leininger already going to head to second. He'll go there and stay put. Now 2 runners on with 1 out here in the top of the sixth. That'll bring up Ty Klaus Keismore. First walk issued by Thiele. .92 pitches thrown. in 5 1/3 innings by Durst. And now Garrett Thiele on a relief. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Ty Klaus Geismore 0 for 2 in the ball game. The first pitch, Ty squares around the bunt, does down the third baseline. It was up and in, and he shot it down the third baseline, but it went foul. 0-1 the count.
Good idea, and almost pulled off a really good bunt to pull that third baseman away from the bag and not have any chance on a play over there, but unfortunately for the Eagles, rolled foul.
Leininger leads off second, Hellman off first. Thiele comes set. The 0-1 pitch to Ty. Breaking pitch, misses just high. The cheer and then the jeer come very quickly there from the fans from New Braunfels Canyon.
I was thinking that hand was going up, but
1-1 to count now to Ty Klaus Geismore, the left fielder. Thiele comes set. Look back at second. The 1-1 pitch. Ty a swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1-2 now the count. Eagles trying to take the lead back here in the top of the 6th. 2 runners on with 1 out. They tied it up on the Logan Smith solo home run. Reese Bell, we thought he led off with the double. Appeal to the first base umpire. He said he missed the bag. So it started out with an out. The 1-2 pitch. Ty Klaus Geismore swing and a miss. Strike 3. For out number 2. First strikeout for Thiele. That'll bring up Andon Petty. No, it will not. We will have a pinch hitter here. Nick Silva.
Correction, number 9, Nick Silva.
Come in to hit here in the 6th inning. For Andon Petty, the center fielder. I can only imagine this is a pinch hit. And then that Petty will go back into center field for the Eagles. Zachary Mazik waits on deck for an opportunity. Should they get to him? 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Runners on first and second. The first pitch to Silva. Misses on the outside corner for strike 1.
interesting.
Surprised on that one. The catcher Ortiz caught it into the left-handed batter's box. 0-1 to count to Silva. Thiele's 0-1 pitch. Silva hits it into center field. It's going to get down in front of Wyman for a base hit. They're going to send Leininger around. Here comes the throw home, and Ortiz will make the catch and the tag. And Leininger thrown out at home. What a play there by Wyman. A late jump by Leininger. Kind of thought Coach Vieira might hold him there, but he sent him, and Leininger thrown out at home. So
Well,
base hit by Silva.
we've said it before. You put the ball in play and you make them make a play, and they made the play on that. It was a good throw home, and catcher's waiting on him with the ball.
8-2 on the outfield assist for out number 3 as Leininger cut out at home. The 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-3 your score. The Eagles back in the field after this break. More Eagle baseball in a moment. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up here for the Canyon Cougars. Lopez, 0 for 2 in the ball game, will step in to lead things off. Jacob Haddon back on the mound, 64 pitches through 5 innings. Back on the mound. The First pitch to Lopez, misses for a ball high and outside. Lopez 0 for 2 in the ball game. The 1-0 pitch from Haddon. And a ball fouled off, back out of play over the first base dugout. The count now 1-1. Exactly right, though, Kelly. Your ball put into play, you make a play, and Wyman did. He threw a beautiful shot all the way from center field. The 1-1 pitch to Lopez, outside corner. Call the ball.
That looked a little more inside than that one that got called a strike a little earlier, but
2-1 now, the count to Robbie Lopez. Haddon back on the mound from the windup. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Jacobs had a little adversity tonight, but he's a senior. He's been in this position before, so Coach V is sticking with it.
The 2-2 pitch, and a ground ball down the third baseline, and a high hopper over the head of Logan Smith into left field. Ty Klaus Cosmore over to get it, throws all the way to second base, but Lopez dives in safely. A leadoff double for Robbie Lopez. On to run will be Wyatt West, the courtesy runner. Can't see if anyone's up in the dugout in the bullpen for the Eagles. But a leadoff double brings up Will Canalico. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. 2 ground outs to E.J. Davis at second base.
What's that about?
The courtesy runner down at second. It seemed to take quite a while to figure out what's going on. Now Canalico will step in with no outs and a runner at second. Isaac Wyman on deck for the Cougars. Haddon will step off. Lopez leads off second base. Haddon takes a look. The first pitch, nope. We'll look back towards second base and make Lopez return to the bag. The first hit of the series for Lopez through that point was 0 for 6. Now 1 for 7. The first pitch to Canalico, he squares the bunt. Bunts it over to the third base dugout for strike 1.
Good crowd tonight.
Now here comes Nick Cazole, the coach, but he gets waved off by the second base umpire. Now the second base umpire wants to talk to Coach Vieira. Not sure what's going on here. A discussion between the second base umpire and Coach Vieira.
Coach didn't like whatever he said. I think he was talking about Hellman crossed over and went over to the second base side of the bag. There's no rule against that shift. So I don't know what that conversation was. It'd be interesting to find out.
0-1 the count to Canalico. No outs, a runner at second. 3-3 your score. The Cougars threatening here in the bottom of the 6th. Square around again, and Canalico bunts it out in front of the plate. Mazak up with it. A throw down to first in time for out number 1. And now the go-ahead runner 90 feet away for the Cougars. That'll bring up Wyman with 1 out and a runner at third.
Nice bunt. Really good play by Zach to get up and get that out at first base.
1 out. Wyman 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out in the second, singled in the fourth, was left stranded at first base. The infield in for the Eagles. They'll try to cut the run off at home. Here in the tie ball game in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Wyman. Inside corner, called strike one. 0-1 to count to Wyman. The left fielder, Evan Janner, on deck. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame for the Cougars. Haddon comes set. The 0-1 pitch. This one sails high for ball one. 1-1 to count now. To the center fielder, Isaac Wyman. Beautiful outfield assist for him to end the top of the 6th for the Eagles and cut the go-ahead run down at home plate on the 8-2 assist. The 1-1 pitch stays up and in for a ball. 2-1 to count now.
It's that long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs for me.
I understand that one tonight. Great ball game here in New Braunfels Canyon. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 2-2 the count. Everyone up on the edge of the grass in the infield. Any ground ball in the infield. They're going to try to cut that run down at home plate. The 2-2 pitch. Strike three. Ooh. And Wyman strikes out for the second time in the ball game.
Big strikeout by Haddon. Big strikeout. Now you can move your infielders back. Wow, that's a big strikeout.
Fourth strikeout of the night, and in steps Evan Janner. He's flown out to left field, lined out to center field. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. The lefty steps in with 2 outs and a runner at third base. It's the go-ahead run for the Cougars here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Janner, swing and a miss, strike one. Due up in the top of the 7th for the Eagles, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Top of the lineup due up, and now Coach Nick Cazole will take an offensive timeout here to talk to Janner. Get Haddon out of his routine.
Yeah.
As he struck out Wyman and now worked ahead of Janner, 0-1.
And Janner swung at a pitch that was a little up, probably out of the strike zone up.
Trying to get the ball into the outfield for a base hit to score the go-ahead run. 3-3 your score. Tied up here in the bottom of the 6th. Haddon comes set.
Balk.
A balk called on Haddon. They're going to call the balk, and it may have been right. I think that's illegal, the coach to run down the line with the runner yelling to draw the attention of the pitcher. And Coach Cazole come running down the line with the runner yelling. That can't be a legal play. But nonetheless, yeah, and here comes Coach Vieira. He's not happy with that. I'm sorry. The runner can yell all he wants, but for that pitcher to come, or that coach to come running down the third baseline, just does not seem right. But now a timeout here as Coach Vieira is going to go out. Coach Vieira is going to go out and talk to the second base umpire. The first base umpire, of course, points away. He don't want to deal with Coach Vieira at this point. Coach Vieira, and I guarantee it's a great question. You've got to ask that.
Yeah.
But the coach to run down the baseline with the runner, it's a distraction. And you can't have any undue attention drawn to yourself as a coaching staff in a sense like that. Coach Vieira just asking about it. But they're going to give it. A balk scores the go-ahead run. So the 4th run of the ball game, the Cougars take the lead. 0-1 to count to Janner. The 0-1 pitch on the outside corner. Called strike two. 0-2 the count to Janner. And now the Eagles, they come up in the top of the 7th, will be chasing one to try to stay alive in the ball game. The 0-2 pitch.
That looked better than the other pitch.
Called the ball. 1-2 the count now to Evan Janner, the left fielder. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball off the fist, down to first base. Bell will field it, step on the bag. 4 out, number 3. 3 unassisted. But as we go to the top of the 7th, New Braunfels has taken the lead 4-3 over Georgetown. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and no runners left on. After 6, it's 4-3. Back with the last inning. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN.
game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We can come back and win this.
We go to the top of the 7th inning. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters due up here for the Eagles. Mazik, Davis, and Heil. The last 3 outs for the Eagles to stay alive here in game number 2. Trailing 4-3. Mazik will lead it off. First pitch from Thiele. Inside corner, called strike 1. Mazik, 1 for 2 on the night. A single, a strikeout, and reached on a walk. The 0-1 pitch, low for ball 1. One to count.
Messing the scoreboard all up here.
Thiele from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. High bouncer down the first baseline. Canalico will field it. No, he does not. Oh, you got to be kidding me. This first base umpire hates Georgetown, and it's horrible. He did not beat Mazik down the line. Canalico waited for it to get to him and tried to pitch it, and what a horrible call. Coach Vieira, I'm surprised, is still in this ball game. One out.
He can't get kicked out because he'll miss the next one if he does, which would be tomorrow if Georgetown can't come back.
Wow, that's horrible. That umpire hopefully is not on the roster for tomorrow.
He will be.
Now a timeout. Mazik was safe. You watch the replay, as we just did, and a great camera view. Kelly, good job of switching it there. I think Coach has got to lose his mind when he watches this later. that one right there, beautiful zoomed-in camera that we have on first base tonight showed.
What is going on?
Something over the left field wall. So now E.J. Davis will step in with 1 out. E.J. 1 for 2 in the ball game. He had a double in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, had a sack bunt in the 1st. Steps in here with 1 out. No runners on. In the top of the 7th, the first pitch from Thiele. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
These Canyon fans are feeling it.
They showed up tonight. They weren't very existent last night in Georgetown, but the student section loud here tonight at Canyon High School. The 0-1 pitch misses. In the strike zone, I guess. Home plate umpire speeding this one up here. That one looked low from up here. 0-2 the count to E.J. Davis. The 0-2 pitch from Thiele. Outside for ball 1. 1-2 the count. 4 tough calls tonight against the Eagles. Wonder where we'd be at that position now. 4-3 your score. New Braunfels leads it by 1. Here in the top of the 7th, 1 out. The 1-2 pitch to E.J. Davis. Misses for a ball in the dirt. 2-2 the count now.
2 base running errors have cost us 2 runs because both of them would have scored had they been on base.
Both were followed by solo home runs. That would have been both 2-run shots. Then Mazik would have been on here, and that was a tough call there. The 2-2 pitch. E.J. Davis pulls it foul down the third baseline. Stays alive in the at-bat, 2-2. Landon Heil on deck, the right fielder for the Eagles. Wind still blowing towards left field. The 2-2 pitch from Thiele. Davis lays off and takes outside and low for ball 3.
Good job of bringing that full count. My goodness, 2 quick strikes.
Now E.J. Davis, the senior second baseman, back in the box. Thiele from the windup. The payoff pitch. Misses low and outside, ball 4. Well, how big is that miss call now? We'd have runners on first and second with no outs for Landon Heil. Instead, it's a runner at first with 1 out. Landon Heil, work to do here. The Eagles trail by 1. Reese Bell on deck for the Eagles. Landon Heil 0 for 3 in the ball game. A strikeout, a flyout, and a groundout. One of each variety. Steps in here with 1 out. In the top of the 7th, the runner at first. E.J. Davis being held on by Canalico. Thiele's first pitch, low for ball 1.
Wonder how much attention they're going to pay to that runner at first. They really need to keep him from getting a second, so we'll see if they try to keep him close.
Davis leads off. Thiele comes set. The 1-0 pitch. The breaking pitch stays high, 2-0 the count.
Got some work in their bullpen going.
Now, timeout from the Cougar coaching staff. We'll take it with them. Back in just a moment with more Eagle Baseball on SHN. And back here after the visit to the mound. Thiele stays on the mound for the Cougars. 2-0 the count to Landon Heil. E.J. Davis leads off first. Held on by Canalico. Thiele comes set. The 2-0 pitch misses low. No, it misses in there for another strike. This strike zone appears to have changed quite a bit throughout the ball game. That seemed like a low strike or low ball earlier in the ball game. Now a strike. 2-1 the count to Landon Heil. The 2-1 pitch. This one is in the dirt. Doesn't get very far away from the catcher Lopez, so E.J. Davis stays put. 3-1 the count now to Landon Heil.
I don't see him trying to steal this base, though. You got to have that runner. You don't want that second out. Want to throw down to second.
E.J. Davis will lead off first. Landon Heil expects to see a beautiful pitch here. A hitter's count. 3-1 with 1 out. Thiele comes set. The 3-1 pitch. And Landon Heil slaps it down the left field line. Of course, it's going to be foul. That would have put E.J. Davis to third, if not home. He was moving on the full tilt run.
He was on the move.
So now the count full to Landon Heil. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Thiele comes set, the payoff pitch. Landon Heil slaps it out towards third. Garcia fields it, his only place to first base. So the tying run moves up to second base. Smart play there by the third baseman, Garcia.
Here comes Wheels.
You got to think Coach Nick Cazole will walk Reese Bell here.
Yep, he pointed.
And he does. But now you bring up Logan Smith, who's already hit a home run as well.
Number 5, Logan Smith.
Wind still cooking, too.
Intentional walk issued to Reese Bell, so runners on first and second with 2 outs. Logan Smith, 1 for 3 on the ball game. A solo home run in the sixth to tie it up. Steps in here with the opportunity again to take the lead. The first pitch to Smith misses low and outside. Ball 1. Riley Leiniger on deck for the Eagles. Logan Smith, the third baseman, back in the box. The tying run at second base. The go-ahead run at first. The 1-0 pitch to Logan Smith. Logan grounds it out. Third baseman Garcia up with it. The throw across the diamond in time. And the Cougars win the ball game 4-3. And we'll go to game 3 tomorrow night. Quick timeout. We'll be back to wrap things up. The Eagles down here in the 7th. No runs on no hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. And the ball game ends 4-3. Quick timeout. Back to wrap it up here on SHN. Back here at New Braunfels High School, where the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars stay alive with a win in game number 2, 4-3 over your Georgetown Eagles. Coach Vieira not happy. He's talking with Coach Gazzoli. They're going to have to flip for home, who the home team is tomorrow night at Westlake High School. 7 o'clock first pitch live from Westlake High School in Austin, Texas. Westlake, Texas, Eanes ISD. So the coin flip. I think if I got it right, we're the home team, which will be great. We'll have the press box.
Yeah.
Which we'll have it anyway, being the home team or being the only broadcast.
Right.
But as we watch them meet there, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch at Westlake High School tomorrow for game number 3, the all-deciding game of the regional quarterfinals between the Georgetown Eagles and the New Braunfels Canyon Cougars. They come back and win it in the bottom of the 6th, just like the Eagles did last night, but on a controversial balk call on Jacob Haddon. I'll go back and watch this one tonight. We'll watch it on the way home in the truck. You'll watch it in the way home on the truck as I listen to it. But on that play, it looked like Coach Cazole came running down the baseline with the runner yelling. Just a distractionary device that can't be done. And so you hope that's not what happened. They didn't call it. But for Haddon's, I mean, that's just, it's a mistake made. But then the base running errors that are called. You can call them errors all you want to, but they were costly. To call Reese Bell out for not touching first base, it looked like on the play that we had, he touched first base. It looked on the play at first base, Mazik beat the toss from Canalicchio to the pitcher Thiele, and then calling out that E.J. Davis left second early. 2 running mistakes or 2 outs called on running plays that were followed up by solo home runs the next pitch.
Well, and it did look like EJ left early whenever we went back and watched it. But, the Eagles had opportunities beside that. I think they played well enough to win this game tonight, but the breaks didn't go their way, the calls didn't go their way. So they got to bounce back tomorrow and play a quality ball game to advance.
Jacob Haddon gets the loss in a tough ball game. Pitched a great ball game. Quite the atmosphere. Obviously, the best opponent we faced in these playoffs. This Canyon Cougar team is a scrappy team. They're a lot like we talked about this before game 1. They compared it, and the players had said they had heard they're a lot like us.
Right.
And they do. They're a gritty, scrappy baseball team, and they keep fighting as they did tonight. And so tomorrow night we go to game 3, the all-decisive game 3 at Westlake High School. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch here live on SHN. Hopefully you'll get your blue behind out there. Coach, as Coach likes to say, get there, be loud, wear blue. And come out and support these kids. It all comes down to this tomorrow night.
It does, and this is this is playoff baseball. I mean, it's a great ball game tonight, great atmosphere. Tip of the cap to Canyon. They pulled the game out tonight, stayed alive, so we go to game 3.
Game number 1, 6-4. Georgetown wins it last night. Game number 2, New Braunfels wins it 4-3 tonight here in New Braunfels. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, first pitch, Westlake High School, the site of game number 3 to see who moves on to the regional semifinals in this year's playoffs. Congratulations again to the Lady Eagles softball team as they advance to the regional finals with a 2-game sweep over Victoria West. A run rule victory today in 5 innings. Congrats to them. But come out and join us tomorrow, Westlake High School, for game number 3 to support this baseball team. Great things happening at Georgetown High School. Thanks for joining us tonight. Kelly, this is a tough loss.
Tough loss. We'll see how they bounce back. They're a gritty team, so we see what happens tomorrow night.
7 o'clock, join us live on SHN, 6:30 pregame. We'll have the call for you live here on SHN. Thanks for joining us tonight. Be safe getting home. Have a good weekend. And remember, it doesn't cost a dime to be kind. Have a good night.